to move this country forward. And for the first time, the president appointed a chief information officer and a chief technology officer.
Folks, I'm lucky to have today a guest, Ed Moy. He's the director of U.S. Mint. I'm surrounded by gold, and thank you very much for bringing all these samples.
It's great to be here, and Ramesh, no matter how nice you are to me today, you are not getting any free samples.
Thank you. Thank you very much for telling me that. Folks, Ed Moy is the new director of U.S. Mint, and he has come out with one of the most fantastic coins to celebrate the Olympics in China. This was your personal baby, and you designed it, I guess. You helped design it, and you're marketing it now. Can you tell me a little bit about it, how it came about?
Yep, sure. We're so excited about this coin because it's 24 karat gold and 22 karat gold. It's a two-coin set. American coins, half ounce apiece, and because the Olympics are August 8th, 2008, in Chinese the word 8 is bat, which also means, sounds like the same word we use for prosperity.
I must tell you, there were quite a few great co-hosts. You know, I mean, some of the names I want to tell you, Anisha Abraham was one. She's a colonel, a doctor. So first time she came in, I said, "You are Colonel Dr. Anisha Abraham." And she goes, "No, I don't want, I just want you to call me Anisha Abraham." She interviewed Surgeon General. Very proud of her. She did a great job, and so did Saverna. I mean, I must say that Shilpa was a great interviewer. She was so prepared all the time.
Welcome, Dr. Vasishta. It's nice to have you back.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
So can you tell us more about this book, Death in D.C.? Why did you decide to write this book?
When I finished with Death in Delhi, I thought I was finished. And the story stopped when I flew from India and arrived to America. But actually, the real story started there. After I wrote my first book, a lot of people wanted to know what happened afterwards, and that's why I wrote the second book.
Of course, people want to know what happened to you after you came here. How would you compare your experience as a deaf person living in India versus a deaf person living in the United States?
You can't compare. There's a world of difference. Because deaf people in India have no educational rights, no employment opportunity. I say no. There are some, although very limited. In America, they have laws and services regarding education. They have everything here. And deaf people can work. For example, if I was still in India, I would possibly be working on a farm or as a photographer. But here in America, I have my bachelor's, master's, and my PhD. I work in administration.
What got you into comedy to begin with?
Everybody was going to, you know, I guess not none of my friends, but apparently people were going to universities and colleges, and that was not my thing. I was not a good student, and I didn't want to work in a warehouse, which is what I ended up doing. Forklift driver or something, you know, something pretty mindless. I would have been doing that.
I'm sure a lot of people heard the name Russell Peters and they thought, he looks Indian, but that name certainly doesn't sound Indian. Any story behind that?
Both my parents are Anglo-Indians. They're both two Anglo-Indians married each other, which happened a lot back in the day.
Right.
And Engelbert Humperdinck's an Anglo-Indian, just in case you didn't know. And so is Cliff Richard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
So
that.
these guys don't really readily admit it, but Humpy, if you're out there, Humpy, represent, man.
Well, you know, each one of us, I think, brought something unique from our own perspectives to the interviews that we
That's
did.
right.
You know, just to give you a few names here, folks, I mean, Saverna, I think, really, at the time when she was on the show, people were still coming into their own.
Yes.
And she was catching them as they were rising, which is amazing. She interviewed Meera Nair.
I want to thank you for taking some time to talk with Darshan, and especially on a very hectic schedule. Our audience, of course, knows who you are. They know Salam Bombay, they know Mississippi Masala, they know Kama Sutra, now Monsoon Wedding. I want to tell you, for the last few weeks, we have talked a lot about Monsoon Wedding because Elle magazine has featured you. Whoever your publicist is, incredible. I mean, it's just garnered so much attention pre-viewing.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel very good about it, but you know, you have to realize it is a machine. It is a publicity machine. Mm-hmm. But the movie is the best publicist, you know, because people have seen this movie, like critics and reporters from these long lead magazines in Toronto and the festivals, basically in September. And they want to write about the movie. You know, it's not something we have to beg them to do at all. They want to write about the movie. But what is astounding is that in the writing and in the articles and even in the newspapers, they have given it the main feature. They have just tossed off Mel Gibson aside and this one and that one. And that's unexpected for me.
She interviewed Deepak Chopra.
Dr. Chopra, thank you so much for agreeing to interview with Darshan. We really appreciate it. Just take a few minutes of your time. You're here at the famous Ronald Reagan building. How do you feel seeing all of these South Asians here wanting to hear you?
Well, I think it's a great privilege for me to be able to speak with people of my own community, and I feel very honored.
These are all well-known, well-established names here. And, you know, I can claim a little bit there. I interviewed A.R. Rahman, which was probably the interview of my life.
That's a big deal. So many times Oscar winner.
Hello and welcome to Darshan. I had the great honor and privilege to interview a living legend today, Mr. A.R. Rahman. Welcome to Darshan.
Hi.
It is a privilege to have you here. There are so many questions that I know our audience wants to get answers for, but the first question I have for you is, how did you get your start? I mean, you came from a musical family, and I know early in your career you spent some time composing jingles for Indian television. Then you got your big break with the film Roja. Can you tell me, how has your trajectory been and how have you grown as a person?
I come from a musical family, so my father was a composer, arranger, and after he passed away, my mother wanted me to come into music. And she actually kind of directed me to music, and at the age of around 18 or 19, I started jingles, and then 23, 25, I started my first movie.
And most of you will remember Sonia Gavankar. She's one of the co-hosts. She interviewed Max Dasfour. He's a Pulitzer Prize-winning photojournalist, and Indrani Paul Chaudhary, who is on Bravo Network on Double Exposure. She's a major fashion photographer.
Yeah.
In addition to all that, we've had a wonderful set of segments on the show. I mean, talk about Morning Blend with Rohan Siddhanti and Neil Dubey. They brought a fresh new element to the show. You had the husband and wife team of Sonal and Dinesh.
Yes.
And, you know, so over the years, you've seen an assortment of people on this show, and each has lent their personality and their background and knowledge to the show.
And you know, sometimes we took our cameras and did the show from there. I remember Pravasi Bharatiya Divas.
It was a big deal.
I was in Bombay. We actually took Chris Arth, our editor, from here to Bombay.
This is Mumbai. We are here on the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, the third one, from 7th of January to 9th of January. We have come here to see our Indianness, we have come here to feel our Indianness, and we have come here to meet our Indian brotherhood. And I want to tell you, the experience has been kind of wonderful. There are all kinds of people here. There are people that actually believe they're going to find business partners, and they're running around talking to people. But one of the things everybody is enjoying is the food, the atmosphere, the love. I must commend Vicky. They have done a fantastic job of putting all of this together.
We also went out to do a chocolate show, chocolate making show.
You know, I remember
that if you remember that.
I do. You wore the hats and everything.
Yes.
And I remember thinking, this is kind of like that Lucille Ball episode. Remember?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to In Conversation. This is our holiday special show. We call it Darshan on the Road. Well, where are we? We are actually in the research facilities of Albert Ooster Import Company. They sell confectionaries. And we are in the research facility with the chef extraordinaire, Mr. Anil Rohira.
Hi, Ramesh. Hi, Swarna.
We've got some orange rind, some dried apricots, some slivered almonds, which, you know, everybody has at home.
That's good.
Okay.
Look,
now let me...
This is my first try.
That's not bad.
You know,
actually, that's pretty good. But why don't
carpenter only gets better after he chops a lot of wood.
You know what I'm going to do? Because we're gonna keep going here. I'm going to decorate these Because like you said, if you don't do it quickly, they're
You need
going
to
to
do it
start
right away.
setting.
Yeah.
Yes. I loved going into the community as well. I remember the first Diwali show. I was part of the organization. That was fantastic. That was in Rockville.
It was great to see the community band together the way they
Oh my
did.
God, I've never seen that many people in one place when it first came out.
We're here at the annual Diwali Mela at the Prince George's County Sports and Learning Complex. There's lots of excitement. People are having a fantastic time with the food, song, dance, and lots of shopping. Right, Ramesh?
I met so many people here today. I mean, folks, take a look. There are more and more people. Every year there are more people.
We're having a great time, folks, and we want you to see all the fun that everyone's having. So come on, let's take a look.
To hear all the feedback from the community because they see you, they recognize you, and they're dying to come up and tell you, hey, we love the show, we love to get up and watch. And that feels so good when you're not, sure who's watching you every morning.
It gives you strength. It gives you strength. I even went to Gurdwaras. I helped with